Welcome. Sambrailo employees are an essential part of the company's success. As a new or returning employee, you will also be an integral part of our team. You will be key to achieving our collective goals. In our mission to complete a safe and productive season, we ask that you pay attention to the following employee guidance, as the policies outlined will help accomplish this mission. It is your responsibility to follow the policies as described. Failure to do so may result in disciplinary action up to and including dismissal. Adhering to the following company policies will help promote a safe work environment for everyone. Since we produce packaging material and clam shells, which will eventually contain food, it is necessary for all employees to comply with all good manufacturing practices. These rules are required and implemented to avoid risks of contamination of the manufactured product and to comply with state and federal laws, as well as to satisfy the customer requirements. Failure to follow good manufacturing practices can lead to cross-contamination and in turn can lead to foodborne illnesses and consumers becoming ill. Some of these diseases include E. coli, Salmonella, and Listeria, illnesses which can cause serious health complications. Good manufacturing practices begin with our dress code. It is not allowed to wear any type of jewelry such as earrings, rings, pins, or bracelets, or any type of clothing that may present a risk. The only exceptions are emergency medical badges or bracelets used to easily identify people with pre-existing conditions and wedding rings without stones. Your clothing must be clean and in good condition. Dirty, torn, loose, or lint clothing is not permitted. Skirts and dresses are not allowed. Shoes must have non-slip soles. Shoes must have non-slip soles. Heels, flip-flops, or sandals are not permitted. Your footwear must have tie straps or a boot above the ankle. The use of tennis shoes is at the discretion of your supervisor.
Todos tenemos que usar redecillas aprobadas por la empresa. Debemos cubrir barbas, bigotes y patillas largas con la redecilla. No está permitido utilizar ningún accesorio en las redecillas para el cabello que pueda caer dentro del producto, solo cintas para el cabello autorizadas por su supervisor.
You can only eat in the dining rooms and designated areas. Gum, candy, tobacco, or pills are not permitted in production areas or storage spaces. Smoking is only allowed outside and in designated areas. Employees are expected to report to work in a hygienic manner daily. Hands should be washed before starting work, after breaks, and after using the bathroom. No nail polish, fake nails, or fake eyelashes are allowed. Employees with contagious or communicable diseases such as COVID-19 must stay home and follow the orders of the Department of Public Health. Wounds or cuts must be reported to the supervisor. Sneezing, coughing, spitting, or touching your face is not permitted on or near production lines. As an employer, it is our responsibility to maintain a written injury and illness prevention program. This program can be found in the main office, where you can access it at your discretion. Below you will be given a description of the different components that make up the program. The administrator of the Injury and Illness Prevention Program is Arturo Juarez, who will have the authority and responsibility to implement and maintain the standards of this program for Sambrailo packaging. Supervisors will be responsible for making this program an integral part of their regular duties. Likewise, all employees, including you, have the responsibility to work safely, accept and follow all procedures and policies to prevent injuries and illnesses. We must report unsafe actions and conditions and help maintain a safe work environment. We plan to maintain compliance with the Illness and Injury Prevention Program by holding regular safety meetings, which will help maintain and establish lines of communication. Verification of compliance will be carried out by evaluating the habits of employees with respect to the established standards. Continued compliance will be overseen by the Safety Incentive Program that recognizes employees who work safely and requires discipline for those who do not comply with the program as outlined, and retraining of employees who do not meet company safety standards. Communication is essential to the company's injury and illness prevention program. The communication system is intended to promote the company's safety program clearly and effectively. The communication system consists of employee safety orientations plus regular safety meetings, intended to promote a positive safety culture. Written communication is also key and will come in the form of a brochure or memo, publications, signs, and suggestion boxes. An accident is defined as any act or action that can cause bodily injury or illness, regardless of whether such injury or illness actually occurs. Accident investigations attempt to find the cause of the accident and determine what measures should be taken to prevent it. The investigation process for work-related injuries and illnesses includes the following. Visit the place where the injury or accident occurred. Individually interview injured workers and witnesses. Examine the location and the area surrounding the location to analyze factors associated with the accident. Determine the cause of the accident. Complete the accident investigative report. Take corrective actions to prevent an accident from happening again. Record the results of the investigation and the actions taken. Supervisors should turn to their managers for help and advice during this process. Unsafe conditions and unhealthy practices must be corrected in a timely manner based on the severity of the hazards. When an imminent hazard exists that cannot be immediately remedied without endangering employees and property, management will remove all exposed workers from the area except those trained and authorized and necessary to correct the existing condition. If unsafe or unhealthy working conditions cannot be corrected immediately, appropriate measures will be taken to prevent injuries and illnesses. Such measures may include protective locks or tags, red flags, and other warning and communication mechanisms. Management and employees must have training and instruction in general and specific work-related health and safety practices. Training and instruction will be provided by the supervisor, program administrator, and/or third party. Training will be provided when employees are hired, reassigned to new job tasks, or when new substances, processes, procedures, or equipment have been introduced that present a new hazard, as well as when a hazard has been recognized that requires the employee to receive new training or advanced training. Records such as accident reports will be kept available for all employees in the Human Resources Office. Records retention must meet or exceed the requirements established by local, state, and federal laws. If you suffer an accident at work, remember that you must immediately notify a manager or supervisor, regardless of the severity. Failure to report any accident immediately could result in the compensation insurance company denying the claim and/or disciplinary action being taken against you. After reporting the incident, your supervisor will provide first aid using materials from the first aid kit. If medical assistance is requested, you will be transported to the nearest clinic or hospital for examination. When possible, the company will assist injured workers by providing a modified temporary position. Transitional in nature. This is an opportunity to continue working until you recover from your injury. All modified positions will be within the physical limitations of the injured worker, and all modified jobs can be compensated at minimum wage. The Emergency Action Plan aims to outline a course of action in the event that Sambrailo Packaging suffers a natural or human emergency. The implementation of this plan will have to be coordinated by the incident commander. That person will have to be one of the following: supervisor, supervisor assistant, QA or dispatch department. The incident commander is responsible for the management of the incident from start to finish until command is transferred. The commander will be responsible for making the decision if evacuation is necessary and for ensuring an orderly evacuation. Identify a meeting point. Take a head count of all personnel and call 911 if necessary. The commander may reintroduce employees to the work area only after the hazard has been eliminated and the workplace is safe. After assessing the emergency, the supervisor will decide which assembly area employees will evacuate to. The meeting point is the location where the commander will make decisions, communicate with employees, and coordinate necessary activities. Each workplace has specific meeting points. You can find these locations by checking the evacuation map. Be sure to take the time to review the evacuation map located in the employee break room or common area. Emergencies can come in different forms, such as fires, medical emergencies, natural disasters, or workplace violence. It is important to keep her calm and follow instructions to stay safe. The following information will assist in our goal of maintaining our safety in the event of an emergency. The moment you feel an earthquake, try to take shelter under a table, door frame, or a place where objects will not fall on your head. Remember that the most important thing is not to panic. If you are inside a building, cover your head. If you're outside, go somewhere open. Stay away from buildings. If you're in a car, stay there. Stay away from windows or electrical wires. All fire alarms must be assumed to be real. When you hear an alarm, you should stop what you are doing and evacuate the building as directed by the incident commander. If no alarms have been activated and you are near a fire, you must notify your supervisor immediately, and the supervisor will call emergency services and evacuate the building if necessary. If you are trapped inside a building during a fire, you should go to the nearest exit, using caution when opening doors as this may cause the fire to grow. Check door handles before opening them, and if it's hot, use a different exit route. If you find yourself in a smoke-filled room, stay low to the ground and crawl to the nearest exit. If your clothes catch fire, immediately stop, drop to the ground and start rolling.
Pass method for putting out a fire. In this video, we'll teach you how to properly use a fire extinguisher using the pass method. When fire strikes at your workplace, be sure to follow these 3 steps. Step 1. Check to make sure the fire extinguisher you have on hand is the correct type of extinguisher to extinguish the type of fire. Type A is used for ordinary combustibles such as wood and paper. Type B extinguishers are used on flammable liquids like gasoline and oil. Type C is for electrical fire, so they can be used on faulty outlets and appliances. Type D is used on flammable metals such as magnesium and titanium. And Class K extinguishers are used when fires involve cooking media, fats, grease, and oils. All commercial cooking sites such as restaurants need this extinguisher. If you don't feel you can safely put out the fire, exit the building immediately. Step 2. With the extinguisher in hand, step 6 to 8 feet away from the fire. Step 3. Use the pass method to put out the fire. P. Pull the pin so that you're able to discharge the extinguisher. A. Aim the extinguisher nozzle at the base of the fire. S. Squeeze the lever to discharge the extinguishing agent. Releasing the lever will stop the discharge. S. Sweep. Pointing the extinguisher at the base of the fire, move the extinguisher from left to right or back and forth in a sweeping motion until the fire is out. When the fire is out, continue to watch the fire to ensure the fire does not ignite once again. If the fire comes back, repeat the pass method. Recap: P. Pull the pin. A. Aim. S. Squeeze. And S. Sweep. Remember, fires can be harmful and fatal, so do not put the fire out yourself unless it's safe.
Your workplace may be in or near a cooling facility that uses anhydrous ammonia to cool its facilities. Ammonia is a common chemical, used because its properties make it an ideal refrigerant. Anhydrous ammonia has its dangers. It has a pungent smell. It can be corrosive to the skin and even fatal. Ammonia can enter your body through inhalation, contact, or ingestion. Fortunately, anhydrous ammonia is quickly detected at low concentrations. Most facilities are equipped with ammonia alarms and strobe lights to notify people when an ammonia leak has occurred. If you ever hear an alarm or detect a pungent odor coming from the nearby cooler, be sure to notify your supervisor. Employees must be evacuated to the meeting point closest to the opposite direction of the wind. Unfortunately, workplace violence can occur. Sambrailo Packaging does not tolerate any form of workplace violence, whether verbal or physical. We ask all employees to be aware of visitors or coworkers who act erratic or make threats and to report such actions to their supervisors immediately. If you are ever faced with a situation where you feel your well-being is at risk, you should run, hide, and if necessary as a last resort, fight the person causing the harm. Hazards associated with chemicals exist in every workplace. It is your right to know what kind of chemicals you are working with, how you can protect yourself against them, and what to do in case of overexposure. Hazards as a result of a chemical accident may arise from flammable or combustible liquid products, compressed gases, unstable materials, explosives, or those that produce a dangerous reaction when mixed with water or other chemicals. Chemicals can enter your system by inhalation, ingestion, or coming into contact with these chemicals. Health effects can occur in circumstances where chemical concentrations are high and produce acute symptoms, such as trouble breathing, coughing, and irritation. Just as when chemical concentrations are low and a person is exposed to the chemical for long periods, it can produce chronic symptoms such as kidney, lung, or heart problems. In case of overexposure, it is important to act quickly. If your eyes come into contact with a chemical, be sure to rinse your eyes with water for 20 minutes. If you inhale a chemical that causes irritation or trouble breathing, be sure to evacuate the area and inform a supervisor. If your skin comes into contact with a chemical, be sure to wash your skin with cold water for 20 minutes. If you accidentally swallow a chemical, be sure to seek medical attention immediately. Each chemical has its specific emergency procedures and PPE requirements. You can find this specific information in the SDS folder located in the break room. The SDS folder includes safety data sheets that have been updated to comply with the Global Harmonization System. Here you can easily identify specific chemical hazards through pictograms and obtain information regarding chemical composition, first aid requirements, and chemical compatibility. Becoming familiar with danger signs can help inform your environment. The NFPA sign helps quickly assess the hazards posed by chemicals. By separating chemical hazards into 4 distinct categories represented by colored diamonds and assigning a hazard level on a numerical scale where 0 is the lowest and 4 is the highest. Blue represents health effects. The red diamond represents flammability. The yellow diamond represents your reactivity and the white represents specific hazards. Lockout and tagout is a safety procedure used to ensure that machines are shut down properly and cannot be restarted. This procedure is necessary to prevent severe injuries and should be put into use at any time that involves touching potentially moving parts of a machine, such as before completing maintenance. Remove a stuck box or carry out repair work. This lockout and tagout process requires that hazardous energy sources be isolated and deactivated before beginning work on the equipment in question. When preparing to lock out and tag out a machine, you should first notify your coworkers, such as the roper, of your intention to turn off the machine. Step number 2 consists of turning off the equipment by pressing the red button down. By pressing the red emergency stop button, you will cut power to the machine.